Hi guys, welcome back to another video here on the channel. My name's Ash, you'll know me as Brommer18. This is the home of career mode tactics on FIFA 22 on YouTube. No one does it better than us. Thank you so much for joining me yet again in another tactics video. This, if you're new, is a series where I show you how to recreate real systems in FIFA. It's not a promise that you'll win every game, but it is a promise that it will be recreated as accurately as I can possibly make it within the constraints of the game. Today we are continuing our theme with teams from Portugal. I mentioned in the last video that I did where we covered Jose Mourinho's Porto Champions League winning team that was the first time we covered a team from Portugal, and today we are going to continue that theme with Ruben Amorim's Sporting Lisbon tactics. Really excited to get this one. It's one that's sort of popped up in the comment section from you guys throughout the year really, and so really excited to finally deep dive into it. For those of you who haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so that you get notifications every time I upload. Lots of great content coming your way, and also check out my Patreon. The link is down below. On there you can get access to a range of fantastic perks, including my custom tactics package where I give you ratings, deep dives and rankings of every tactic that we cover on the channel. You can get access to exclusive tactics videos that will only be found on Patreon, such as Unai Emery's Villarreal, Sean Dyche's Burnley, Thiago Motta's Spezia and more. And also you can get access to my scouting package where I give you deep scouting reports on a range of different players. Finally get my words out, based on hundreds of hours of my own analysis. There's a whole range of perks on there that I haven't even mentioned, too long to list. Go and check it out. Right, finally, after 2 minutes of rambling, it is time to get into this system. So what do we have with Amorim's Sporting formation? Well, it is what I believe is a 3-4-2-1. We have the wing backs. Some were calling it a 5, but I don't think it's a 5 at all. I think these wing backs are just that, wing backs. They are very attacking, very committive. And then you've got the sort of advanced midfielders here who some people class as wingers. I think they're more of a hybrid false winger role. They're more attacking midfielders who are versatile enough to sort of drift wide if and when they need to. So with the formation itself, there are some tweaks. You're going to need to do a little bit of tinkering here because it's very hard to get the right setup. What we need is this 3-5-2 formation, so make sure you go with that, because then that's going to give you the two defensive midfielders, and that's very, very important as well, because these guys are flatter, they're more supportive in possession, they don't like to adventure forward too much. It also means that the wing backs are going to be wide midfielders. Very important also, for any of you who are worried about maybe will they be too committed, then will they be too attacking, will they not bed in with the defence? Yes, they will. We'll sort that out on the player instructions, and they will still act like out and out wing backs. Then once you've got that with the formation, the 3-5-2, you're going to want to move one of the strikers to left attacking midfield, and then you're going to want to move the cam, as it would have been in the 3-5-2 system, to right attacking midfield. Then you just need one striker left over to be in the centre. So this is what it's going to look like now. Two DMs, you've got the wide midfielders, and then you've got a left and right attacking midfielder, and that is formed from the 3-5-2 system, the easiest way to get to that. With the left and right attacking midfielders, as I said, I see them more as hybrid kind of wingers, false wingers. They come more centrally, they look to support the striker, they look to get into those half spaces as well, to show for the ball a little bit further up the pitch. So, you know, in my opinion, in my research, I don't believe they are out and out wingers. So what do we have tactically then? Well, with the tactical instructions, defensively first off, we've got a counter-pressing team that like to work hard for quite a few seconds to regain possession after they lose it if and when they need to. They'll also occasionally instigate presses that are instigated by the striker, often, or one of the sort of false hybrid wingers. And you can do that by doing down and then left on the D-pad on your controller, which will instigate a team press for a few seconds. The width is actually on 40 with a sort of 3-back system where you've got sort of four midfielders, I guess, because you've got the two attacking midfielders and the central defensive midfielders as well. You can afford to be a little bit wider on the game because there's going to be still less space with so many in the central areas for the opposition to play through you. They also like to try and complement their press by being a bit wider as well, and also which we'll come on to shortly, their attacking shape is also fairly wide, and they like to kind of support that as well. They don't want too much shifting in between, you know, the transition of attack and defence. The depth is on 60, giving you a high mid block. They don't play a fully high line, actually, what I noticed was. Partly because they're trying to be conscious about balls being played in behind, but also because they like to condense the lines. Basically, they want their strikers and their centre backs and the midfield all condensed together on a vertical scale, so as a result there's not too much space, and that's really where they're doing their best work, rather than if the strikers are pressing hard at the pitch, you know, the team's going to go with them, but then the strikers are going to regress a little bit as well when the defensive line is also retreating on top of that. Offensively, with build-up play, we have slow build-up. They like to try and play through the thirds if and when they need to, but what I really like about them is their versatility in approach. They don't always have to. They are happy if a forward, a striker, or one of the half wingers are looking to run in behind, instigate a run to try and penetrate the back line. They're willing to go long over the top to them and play a through ball if they need to, but that doesn't mean you need to change it from slow build up. You can do that with forward runs, because then you're going to get strikers and attackers running in behind often and looking to try and penetrate the defence. But with slow build up, you're still going to get players showing for the ball, in particular the two central midfielders on top of the centre backs and also the wing backs. With the width, it's on 70. As I alluded to earlier, they will attack quite wide. They like to stretch the play. We don't go all the way up here because with the attacking instructions, we've enabled us to have that wide shape without being too sort of aggressive with how wide we like that. So 70 is a nice solid number. It means that your players will be wide and your shape will be fairly stretched as well to enable you to stretch the opposition. The players in the box is up to 7, giving you roughly 3 to 4. You'll obviously have the 3 attackers, striker and the 2 attacking midfielders in the box, but also either one of the wing backs will occasionally look to get into the box in those crossing situations as well, and the other wing back is usually the one who is of course crossing the ball. Finally, corners and free kicks, both of these are moved up to 4. Didn't spot anything that they did in particular in order to change this, so as a result, as a general rule of thumb, we do go for 4, although as I have mentioned in a couple of previous videos, we are maybe making tweaks to these free kicks up to 5, but I'm still testing that, so we'll see how that one sort of plays out. Right then, on to the player instructions, starting off with the keeper, and we will work our way through the field. So with the keeper, he's on comes to crosses, plays very aggressively, but with saving outside the box actually unbalanced. I noticed it was very, very timid when coming out of his goal. Didn't really like to play with too much of a high starting position, and so as a result we've got this on balance, but we've come saving on crosses, we've got someone more aggressive. This is kind of a general rule of thumb as well for FIFA. You know, I don't see why you wouldn't have this on, because it is super, super handy. Really helps you out in those crossing situations, those tight spots, because keepers are well protected on this game. The 3 centre backs are absolutely fine. You don't need to change any of them. So then we can move swiftly onto the wing backs. Both of these guys are on the same instructions. So first things first, defensive support is come back on defence. This is how we're going to get these guys bedding in with the back 5 and playing like out and out wing backs. You'll notice that because there's only one player on that side, they will then do that. This is something that actually the game does do a really good job of recognising when there isn't a fullback behind, so they're going to play like wing backs. The chance creation is stay wide. Spoke about in the tactics how this is how we're going to get them really stretching the play, because these guys are going to be almost on the touchline. They're the ones creating the most width and looking to stretch the opponent's shape as much as they possibly can. The support runs is getting behind, often looking to run in, penetrate the back line, and just add another element of forward runs, as we spoke about in the tactics section. Not only is it the 3 attackers, but also they're looking to do that as well. And this is what makes them more mobile and less passive when they are in possession. Again, constantly looking to play through balls in behind, looking to make sure that there are mismatch options there against the opposition. And support on crosses for both of these is on balance. As I said, maybe one of the wing backs would also get in the box to support those attacking moves. And in this case, you know, we have them both on balance. So as a result, it will sort of fluctuate and vary in between which one. Right then, let's talk about the two attacking midfielders. Well, both of these are on the same instructions. First things first, their defensive support is come back on defence, and they will trap back when they need to. And then their support on crosses is get into the box for the cross as well. So they will, as we spoke about, it'll be them two supporting the attacker. Now, naturally, you might be wondering, well, how do we get these guys sort of joining the attack in terms of their runs? You know, I'm speaking about constantly, they're always looking to make those runs in behind. Well, that's really, obviously, as a cam or as a right and left attacking midfielder, you can't set them to get forward as you could with a central midfielder. But that's why we set the offensive chance creation to forward runs. In this case, it means that you're going to get those guys still often running in behind, and that's how we can recreate their role as effectively as we possibly can, as compared to if they were at central midfield and we had them on get forward. Their positioning freedom is actually on stick to position. This is because whilst I did tinker with free roam, because what you're looking for is to try and get them showing for the ball in those half spaces, sometimes dropping off. What I found was that they were fluctuating too much, coming a little bit too deep sometimes, not supporting the striker as much. So we've actually kept this on positioning freedom, on stick to position, and it does recreate their role fairly accurately. Finally then, with the striker, again, what I noticed is they like more of a target man striker, even though he will still play to look to get in behind and run in behind. They still like someone who can be a focal point for their crosses, and someone who can hold the ball up and get those runners in around him if and when he needs to. So his support runs is on stay central, as he again looks to be that focal point, looks to get the guys playing in around him. And then his attacking runs is on get in behind, as we've spoken about. Again, he's looking to play in the last man. It will also help with crossing situations, because what you'll find is when they're on getting behind, they will attack the ball more, particularly when you're crossing it from a deeper position and you're doing an earlier cross. They will then look to run onto it, whereas as target man, they're a little bit more flat-footed. They're not looking to attack the ball, not playing on the front foot, which can be a little bit frustrating at times. So on getting behind, even though they are a target man, that can really work out well for them. Finally, with the defensive support, they are on stay forward, as they will look to be that out ball, and you don't want them, you know, joining the defence and tracking back and being out of position. You want someone to be able to hold the ball up and play to if and when they need to. So with that being said, that would round it off for this video. I feel it may have been a little bit shorter than usual, actually. That's very, very surprising. Usually they go on for a little bit longer than this. I am surprised. But either way, a really fun formation to cover for sure. If you haven't been able to check the gameplay much and look at it because you're focusing on what's going on screen, don't worry. We are now going to go into gameplay after this video so you can see it in action firsthand and just see sort of how it works and how I like to play with them as well and employ them. As I mentioned at the start of the video, make sure to check out my Patreon. The link is down below. So many fantastic perks on there, a lot of work being put into it, so I think you will really enjoy that. And also make sure to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you get notifications every time I upload as well. Drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed it and want to see more, and check out my Twitter. The link to that is down below. Give me a follow on there. If you've got any questions about the tactic whatsoever, get me in the comment section. I will do my best to get back to you. And also keep your suggestions for new tactics coming in as well. On that note, we're going to finish it off there. So until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.
Gol para o Benfica. Número 9, Darwin Núñez. Gol para o Benfica. Número 27, Rafa Silva. Substituição para o Benfica. Sai número 7, Everton. E entra número 22, Valentino Mazzaro. Atenção, distinguidos vencedores do passatempo de hoje, não se esqueçam de passar pela recepção após o apito final para evitar o seu prémio. Obrigado. Substituição